player that is going to be one of the best of the history. That's my feeling. No?
Of all the players I've ever watched, at this age, I've never seen a player this good, this complete.
January 26, 2026, Rod Laver Arena. Carlos Alcaraz held the Norman Brooks Challenge Cup above his head. 7 Grand Slam titles, 22 years old. The youngest player in history to complete the career Grand Slam. Rafael Nadal watched from the front row, smiling. The student had just surpassed the teacher's record, and across the tennis world, legends who defined generations were saying the same thing. This kid is different.
Of all the players I've ever watched, at this age, I've never seen a player this good, this complete.
This is the story of how tennis's greatest champions watched Carlos Alcaraz and realized they were witnessing something they'd never seen before. John McEnroe, astoundingly good. John McEnroe has seen everyone. He played against Bjorn Borg. He competed with Pete Sampras. He watched Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic rewrite history. He's spent 40 years analyzing tennis at the highest level. In August 2025, during the US Open, McEnroe made a statement that shocked the tennis world. That is more than Roger Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, who I have great respect for, McEnroe told ESPN. This guy is astoundingly good when he is on.
He wasn't talking about Alcaraz's future potential. He was talking about Alcaraz right now, at 22 years old.
McEnroe continued, and his words carried weight. One of the quickest guys who has ever been on the court. Incredible personality. The attitude is amazing. He has got every shot in the book. Everything. When the Australian Open arrived in 2026, McEnroe doubled down. Anyone who has listened to me comment on matches knows that Carlos is probably my favorite player, he said. What he is capable of on a tennis court is insane. McEnroe compared Alcaraz and Sinner to the big three. I think when they are at their best, both are almost unstoppable for anyone. It's like comparing the best versions of Pete Sampras, Rafa Nadal, Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, Andre Agassi, or even myself. But when forced to choose between Alcaraz and Sinner, McEnroe didn't hesitate. Carlos is probably my favorite player. What he is capable of on a tennis court is insane, and he isn't even a particularly tall player. This is John McEnroe. 7 Grand Slam titles, a man who's watched tennis evolution for 5 decades. And he's saying Carlos Alcaraz, at 22, is better than the big three were at the same age. That's not hype. That's history. Andre Agassi, don't be so greedy. September 2025. The Laver Cup. Team Europe had just lost to Team World. Andre Agassi, the captain, stood for the post-match ceremony. He looked at Carlos Alcaraz and said something that sounded like a joke, but wasn't. Carlos, don't be so greedy with all those Grand Slams, Agassi said with a smile. Share some with your brothers, for God's sake. The crowd laughed, but Agassi's next words were dead serious. It is such an honor to sit on the side of the court and watch you guys do what you do. It's remarkable, and I wish you the brightest futures. This is Andre Agassi, 8 Grand Slam titles. The first man to complete the career Grand Slam in the Open era. A player who revolutionized tennis with his return game and mental toughness. Agassi knows greatness. He competed against Sampras, Becker, and Courier. He knows what it takes to dominate. And when he watches Alcaraz, he sees something special. Before the 2025 French Open final between Alcaraz and Sinner, Agassi appeared on Tennis Channel Live. The analyst asked him to analyze the matchup. Agassi focused on Alcaraz's physical gifts. His balance is there, his strength is there, his ability to move forward on grass and cover drop shots, the athleticism, Agassi explained. He carries it all, and I think that's a lot to do with the strength in his legs and the balance of his movement. Then Agassi said something revealing. When you start looking at these areas like clay or grass, I give him the edge, assuming he's healthy and feeling good. Agassi predicted Alcaraz would win. He did. In 5 hours and 29 minutes, the longest French Open final in history. After the China Open final in October 2024, Agassi watched Alcaraz defeat Sinner in another epic. He described Alcaraz and Sinner's rivalry simply: "It's like comparing the best versions of the all-time greats." When Agassi, a man who battled Sampras for a generation, says Alcaraz reminds him of the sport's best ever, that means something. Boris Becker, fantastic match. Boris Becker doesn't give compliments easily. The German won 6 Grand Slams. He was Wimbledon champion at 17. He's seen tennis talent at every level. After the 2024 China Open final, Becker took to social media. His message was simple but powerful. Fantastic match between Sinner at Alcaraz in Beijing. Both players leave everything on the court. Becker rarely posts about modern tennis. When he does, it matters. For him to publicly praise Alcaraz means he sees something extraordinary. Becker's career was defined by serve and volley dominance. Alcaraz plays a completely different game. All-court offense, defensive speed, artistic shot-making. Yet Becker recognizes the genius. The praise from Becker is significant because he represents old-school tennis. Grass court power, net rushing, intimidation. Alcaraz embodies modern tennis. Baseline versatility, speed, creativity. When a legend from a different era says you're special, you're transcending generations. Brad Gilbert, gold standard in tennis. Brad Gilbert coached Andre Agassi and Coco Gauff. He's one of tennis's most respected tactical minds. He's seen champions up close. After the Alcaraz-Sinner China Open final, Gilbert posted a statement that captured what many were thinking. After 20 years of amazing matches from the Big Three, didn't think it was possible this soon to have another amazing rivalry. Escape from Alcaraz versus Sin City is the gold standard in tennis. He continued, "Here's to the next 10 years of these two with tons of great matches." This is significant. Gilbert watched Federer, Nadal, Djokovic dominate for 2 decades. He didn't think another rivalry of that caliber was possible so soon after their decline, but Alcaraz and Sinner changed his mind. And Gilbert specifically calls it the gold standard. Not reminiscent of the Big Three, not approaching their level, the actual gold standard. That's the highest compliment a tactician can give. The numbers don't lie. At 22 years and 272 days, Alcaraz became the youngest man in history to complete the career Grand Slam. He broke Don Budge's record, set in 1938. He was younger than Rod Laver, younger than Nadal, younger than Federer, younger than Djokovic, younger than Agassi. 7 Grand Slam titles at 22. That's more than Federer had at 22. More than Djokovic, more than Nadal. Only Bjorn Borg, who turned 23 just days after winning his 7th slam, was close. Alcaraz achieved the career Grand Slam in just 20 major appearances. Djokovic needed 38 appearances. Nadal needed 27. Federer needed 31. The efficiency is staggering. He's won each of the 4 majors at least twice. US Open, 2022 and 2025. Wimbledon, 2023 and 2024. French Open, 2024 and 2025. Australian Open, 2026. He's 7-1 in Grand Slam finals. The only loss came at Wimbledon 2025 to Sinner. Every other time he's reached a major final, he's won. He leads Jannik Sinner 10-6 in their head-to-head. In 2024, Sinner lost as many matches to Alcaraz as he did to everyone else combined. At 22, Alcaraz ties John McEnroe and Mats Wilander for 7th all-time in Open-era Grand Slam titles. He's already surpassed Boris Becker, Stefan Edberg, and Andy Murray. The numbers confirm what the legends are saying. This isn't just potential. This is dominance. The physical gifts. What makes Alcaraz different? Start with speed. McEnroe called him one of the quickest guys who has ever been on the court. Agassi praised his balance and strength in his legs. Alcaraz covers the court like Nadal, but with more explosive acceleration. He tracks down shots that should be winners. He turns defense into offense instantly. His movement isn't just fast, it's precise. He maintains balance in extreme positions. He can change direction without losing power. Watch him slide on hard court like it's clay. Watch him recover from corners and still hit offensive shots.
Then there's his shot variety. He has every shot in tennis. Drop shots, tweeners, inside-out forehands, backhand down the line, volleys, half volleys, lobs.
During the 2025 French Open final against Sinner, Alcaraz saved 3 match points. He was down 2 sets. He came back to win in 5 hours and 29 minutes. That match was compared to Federer Nadal, 2008 Wimbledon, to Borg McEnroe, 1980 Wimbledon, to Djokovic Nadal, 2012 Australian Open. Alcaraz was asked after the match how it felt to be compared to those finals. His response was humble. Honestly, if people put our match in that bracket, it's a great honor for me. But tennis historians aren't being generous. That final was genuinely in that class. And Alcaraz was the one who won it. The mental strength. Physical gifts aren't enough. Tennis history is littered with talented players who never fulfilled their potential. What separates Alcaraz is his mind. At the 2025 US Open final, Alcaraz's coach, Juan Carlos Ferrero, called his performance perfect. Alcaraz smiled and agreed. Yeah, he's right. I think I played perfect. I played perfectly. That confidence isn't arrogance, it's self-awareness. Alcaraz knows when he's playing his best. He knows what he's capable of, and he delivers in the biggest moments. In the 2026 Australian Open semi-final, Alcaraz faced Alexander Zverev. The match lasted 5 hours and 27 minutes. Alcaraz was cramping. He was exhausted, but he found a way to win. 2 days later, he faced Novak Djokovic in the final. Djokovic, the 38-year-old champion with 24 Grand Slams. The man who'd beaten Alcaraz in the 2025 Australian Open quarterfinals. Alcaraz won 2-6, 6-2, 6-3, 7-5. He lost the first set badly. Then he adjusted. He raised his level. He never panicked. After the match, Alcaraz said, "Nobody knows how hard I've worked to get this trophy. I chased this moment so much. I appreciate it was a roller coaster emotionally." That emotional honesty is part of his strength. He doesn't hide his feelings. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He celebrates wildly. He smiles constantly. But when the moment demands it, he locks in. Alcaraz has said, "I stayed strong mentally. I think that's a really important part in this game. You have to be strong mentally if you want to overcome these kind of matches." That mental toughness is why McEnroe loves watching him, why Agassi respects him, why legends recognize him as special. The rivalry with Sinner. You can't talk about Alcaraz without talking about Jannik Sinner. The Italian is the only player who consistently challenges him. They've met in 3 consecutive Grand Slam finals: French Open 2025, Wimbledon 2025, US Open 2025. Alcaraz won the French Open in 5 hours and 29 minutes, saving 3 match points. Sinner won Wimbledon in 3 hours on center court. Alcaraz won the US Open in a near-perfect performance. McEnroe can't choose between them. I think when they are at their best, both are almost unstoppable for anyone. But the head-to-head favors Alcaraz, 10-6 overall, 4-2 in Grand Slams, 7-2 on hard courts. Alcaraz has won 7 of their last 8 matches. Brad Gilbert calls their rivalry the gold standard in tennis. He predicted they'd dominate for the next 10 years. So far, he's been right. In 2024 and 2025, Alcaraz and Sinner split the 8 Grand Slams evenly, 4 each. Nobody else won a major. That's the kind of dominance the Big Three once had. The difference? Alcaraz holds the edge. When they meet in the biggest moments, Alcaraz usually wins. The comparisons to the Big Three. The question everyone asks, is Alcaraz better than Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic? The answer depends on how you measure. Career achievements? No. The Big Three have 66 Grand Slams combined. Alcaraz has 7. That comparison isn't fair. But at the same age? Yes, absolutely. At 22, Federer had 0 Grand Slams. Djokovic had 1. Nadal had 5. Alcaraz has 7. Alcaraz completed the career Grand Slam 5 years younger than Djokovic, 7 years younger than Federer, 2 years younger than Nadal. When Marca asked Alcaraz if he's at the same level as the Big Three, he was humble. I'll only be able to say I'm at the same level as them if I have a 20 or 22-year career and win the top titles season after season. That's what I work for. He added, I'm breaking some very nice records, but what these three achieved is practically impossible. That humility is part of why legends respect him. He's not claiming to be better than the Big Three. He's acknowledging what they've accomplished, but he's also chasing them. And the legends are saying what Alcaraz won't say himself. At 22, he's better than any of them were.
The style that makes him special.
Alcaraz doesn't play like anyone else. He's not Federer's elegance. He's not Nadal's relentless topspin. He's not Djokovic's defensive wall. He's something new, a blend of all three with his own creativity added. He has Nadal's speed and court coverage. He has Federer's shot variety and artistry. He has Djokovic's mental toughness and flexibility. And he has something uniquely his own, fearlessness. Alcaraz plays like he's having fun. He smiles constantly. He attempts shots other players wouldn't dream of trying. Drop shots from impossible positions. Tweeners in Grand Slam finals, backhand winners on the run. When I feel good on the court and sense I am playing well, I feel there is no way a guy can hit a winner on me, Alcaraz has said. I think I can do anything with a tennis ball. It is the best feeling. Then I will try something I have never done before, and that works too. That joy is infectious. That confidence is intimidating. That creativity is unstoppable.
John McEnroe said it best. The attitude is amazing. He has got every shot in the book.
The 2025 US Open Perfection. The 2025 US Open was Alcaraz's masterpiece. He won 21 of 22 sets. He never dropped a set until the quarterfinals. He beat Jiří Lehecka, Novak Djokovic, and Jannik Sinner without losing a set in the quarters, semis, or final.
In the final against Sinner, Alcaraz hit 42 winners, exactly double Sinner's total. He served 10 aces and didn't double fault once. He averaged 193 kilometers per hour on his first serve, up from 182 kilometers per hour in the first round. His coach called it a perfect match. Alcaraz agreed. I think I played perfectly.
That performance reclaimed the world #1 ranking for Alcaraz. He'd lost it to Sinner during 2024. Now it was back where many believe it belongs. Since I got the chance to recover the #1, it was one of the first goals that I had during the season, Alcaraz said. For me, achieving that once again, it is a dream. Doing it in the same day as getting another Grand Slam feels even better. The US Open title was Alcaraz's 6th Grand Slam. He'd won it at 19 in 2022. Now at 22, he'd won it again. The bookends of his early career. 3 months later, he completed the career Grand Slam in Australia. The future nobody can predict. Where does Alcaraz go from here? At 22, he has 7 Grand Slams. He's completed the career Grand Slam. He's world #1. What's left? The double career Grand Slam. If he wins each major twice, he'll join an exclusive club. Djokovic accomplished it at 34, Nadal at 25, Federer never did it.
Alcaraz has already won the US Open, Wimbledon, and French Open twice. One more Australian Open title gives him the double career Grand Slam at 23.
Then there's the calendar slam, winning all 4 majors in 1 year. Only Budge and Laver have done it in men's tennis. Could Alcaraz? In 2025, he came close. He won French Open and US Open. Sinner won Australian Open and Wimbledon. They split the 4 majors evenly. If Alcaraz can keep Sinner at bay for 1 full year, the calendar slam is possible. There's also longevity. Can Alcaraz sustain this level for 15 years? 20 years? The big 3 stayed elite into their late 30s. Can Alcaraz? When asked if he sees himself playing at Djokovic's level at 38, Alcaraz said, "I'm not thinking about that. I hope I can reach my age challenging a new generation of tennis players and playing in Grand Slam finals." The verdict from the legends. John McEnroe. Astoundingly good when he is on. One of the quickest guys who has ever been on the court. Andre Agassi. It is such an honor to sit on the side of the court and watch you guys do what you do. It's remarkable. Boris Becker. Fantastic match. Both players leave everything on the court. Brad Gilbert. The gold standard in tennis. These aren't empty compliments. These are champions who've won a combined 21 Grand Slam titles. They've competed against and analyzed the greatest players in history. And they're all saying the same thing. Carlos Alcaraz is special. Not just good, not just talented, special. At 22, with 7 Grand Slams and a completed career Grand Slam, Alcaraz has already achieved what most players dream of in an entire career. But the legends aren't just impressed by what he's done. They're impressed by how he plays. The joy, the creativity, the fearlessness, the mental toughness. McEnroe says he's his favorite player to watch. Agassi says it's an honor to watch him. Gilbert calls him the gold standard. Is Carlos Alcaraz the best player alive right now? The legends have spoken. At 22, with 7 majors and counting, the answer is clear. When McEnroe says you're better than Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic were at the same age, that's not a prediction. That's an observation. Carlos Alcaraz isn't the future of tennis. He's the present. And if the legends are right, he might just be the greatest ever when his career is done.